Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 11 o'clock news. These are the headlines. Following the President of the Republic's decision to immediately supply the brotherly country Lebanon with fuel, the first oil tanker will be set to sail to Lebanon tomorrow afternoon, carrying up about 30,000 tons of fuel oil. The electoral campaign continues for the sixth day. Candidates and their representatives held meetings and encountered with their potential constituents. Today's meeting roundup later on. Concerned by the smooth running of the electoral campaign, the National Independent Authority for Elections is holding extensive meetings with consular and diplomatic representatives in France. And after being called by the Italian Coast Guard, the Algerian LNG carrier Tisala went to the rescue of 30 illegal migrants shipwrecked off the coast of Sardinia. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Following the President of the Republic's decision to immediately supply the brotherly country Lebanon with fuel oil, the first fuel loading has started this Tuesday evening in the port of Skikda. The first oil tanker will be set to sail tomorrow afternoon, carrying about 30,000 tons of fuel oil. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and National Community Abroad, Ahmed Attaf, received this Tuesday a phone call from his Lebanese counterpart, Abdullah Abu Habib, who reiterated thanks and gratitude of the Lebanese authorities to the President of the Republic, Abdel Tebboune, for his solidarity and support for his decision to supply Lebanon with fuel oil to run its power stations, stressing that this valuable initiative was highly appreciated and had a great echo among all the Lebanese people. Abdullah Abu Habib also extended his sincere thanks and appreciation for Algeria's efforts in the United Nations Security Council to defend Lebanon's position, vital interest and territorial sovereignty in the face of repeated Israeli aggression on its territory. The electoral campaign is still going on. Candidates and their representatives held meetings and encountered with their potential constituents. Today's meeting roundup with Rania Al-Bahri.
The candidate for the Movement for Peace and Society, Abdelali Hassani Sharif, held a popular gathering in Tiaret province, where he explained the main axis of his electoral program, economically and socially, based on freedom of initiative and social justice, adding that his role and program are based on a free economic and social dimension, meaning that the country's economy is an economy based on freedom of trade, freedom of investment, freedom of import and export, freedom of production, and freedom to establish small enterprises. He promised to transform the unemployment grant into an integration grant, and whoever receives his grant must be linked to an economic institution. He further added that this project will focus to solving employment problems among young people by encouraging them to work with institutions within the framework of freeing up jobs and encouraging investment. Reforming the educational system are files at the forefront of the concerns of the candidate of this movement for the presidential elections. The candidate of the Socialist Force Front movement, Youssef Aouchiche, held a popular gathering in Béjaïa province with the symbolism of the time and place. The candidate chose Ifri Ouzelagan to activate his popular gathering on the anniversary of the historic Somem conference in this region, saying that we must put hands in hands to advance and to develop Algeria. For him, today is a symbolic day for the country that carries many meanings. He further added that they are committed to promote Islam and tolerance, Islam that is open to others. He said that we must not allow external parties to influence Algeria and break our national unity by defending our country and our Islam. At the end of this meeting, the candidate didn't miss the chance to visit the historic place where the conference was held and praying for the souls of the martyrs and standing on this historic anniversary in the path of the liberation revolution. For their part, the party supporting the candidate Abdelmajid Tebboune, the FLN, RND and the Future Front made a popular gatherings in numbers of the country's provinces, advocating for the continuation of the establishment of a social and economic system at the level of aspiration. They said that their candidate is committed to fighting the inflation rate and reviewing the municipal and state law that will move Algeria from a country on the path of growth to an emerging country by taking everyone towards the ranks of excellence and achieving a better tomorrow and complete the independence process by building an economic system and in the forward-looking strategy between water and food security, huge achievements and major projects embodied. The National Construction Movement Party confirmed that there is a necessity to guarantee food security and seawater desalination. The Voice of the People tackled the importance of completing the construction process for a victorious Algeria, adding that the election is important for the continuity of the state and for the stability.
In France, the National Independent Authority for Elections is holding meetings with consular and diplomatic representatives in France. The aim to ensure the smooth running of the ongoing electoral campaign. Report by Afef Belhouchet, taken up by Sarah Hitouchi.
At the second stopover for the delegation led by the Vice President of the National Independent Authority for Elections, the General Consulate in Paris delegates from the Area 1 were brought together with the consular district of the northern part of France and some European countries. The objective is: we came to meet our delegates in the region, 1 coordinator and 5 delegates, Bobigny, Nantes, Créteil and Pontoise, and to also meet diplomatic representations and consulators, since our delegates work hand in hand with diplomatic missions and consulars. So through them we came to meet our compatriots here in France and elsewhere, to be closer to them, listening to their concerns and providing solutions to the questions and problems that they raise daily. The General Consulate of Algeria in Paris has provided all the necessary means to ensure the success of these elections, in particular through the establishment of no less than 9 offices, including 5 in Paris and 4 offices relocated to the level of the consular district in Tours, Orléans, Blois and Vierzon. However, such an important event does not only rely on administrative and logistical aspects. Although far from the country, the National Independent Authority for Elections organized information meetings with the representatives of the candidates in order to answer their possible regulatory questions on the conduct of the polling or to take note of their possible concerns. The representatives of the candidates whom are responsible for the display operations in consular posts have already placed regulatory tables in their premises since the official launch of the electoral campaign, while ensuring compliance with the regulations and the neutrality of the administration. Whether it's in Marseille, Créteil, or Consulate General in Paris, or in all other consular representations, the pace is accelerating to guarantee logistical means allowing fellow citizens to perform their electoral duty in the best conditions.
And as part of the festivities of the National Day of Mujahid, the Minister of Mujahideen and the Right Holders, Laider Biga, supervised the burial ceremony of 8 martyrs at the Martyrs Cemetery in Ain El Maleh in the province of Ain Timushant. The ceremony took place in the presence of the civil and military authorities and the revolutionary family. On this occasion, the minister stressed that it was a good opportunity to remember the sacrifices of the Shuhada and the Mujahideen and their heroic and decisive actions in the Liberation Revolution. The North Constantine Offensive, a major turning point in the Liberation War. This insurrection, launched after the call of November 1st, 1954, was marked by the massacre of Skikda, in which Algerians were brutally killed by the settlers and the French army. Report by Ismail Mulqaidia, commentary by Rani al-Bahri.
The day of August 20th, 1955 was prepared at length in Skikda province by the war veterans who gathered in secret place to launch an attack that marked the Algerian Revolution.
Nous sommes exactement le haut Beni Mellek.
We are exactly in Beni Mellek. This is where the greatest preparations of one of the 3 offensive axes took place on Saturday, August 20th, 1955. And what can be noted is impressive in terms of organization, logistics and military discipline. Because although the camp lasted for almost 10 days and the area is located in the middle of colonial agriculture area, it did not go out at all, and the surprise was complete. The attack on this axis at least started from Sidi Ahmed, near the place called the Four Roads, then extended to the city.
The French repression was of a rare barbarity, resulting in an unprecedented genocide that ravaged the Algerians.
La population, qui n'était pas armée, qui était porteuse
The population was unarmed and had no reaction, and at the same time the mayor of the city, Dominique Creveux, gave orders to shoot all Algerians. The army was allowed to shoot any Arab. On Sunday 21st of the following day, there was the arrival of the Okba boat coming from Marseille, and on board it was 700 Algerians, but there were also families who came from the surrounding towns of Constantine, Betna, belonging to Khanchla and Stif, who came to receive them at the port, and there began the Great Massacre.
The machine that dug the mass graves is still preserved in Skikda province.
appartenait à l'époque à l'école régionale.
It belonged at the time to the regional school of Philippeville, now called Skikda, and here is the bulldozer that was used to bury between 6,000 and 7,000 people, alive or dead, in the days and weeks following the massive attack.
After being called by the Italian Coast Guard, the Algerian LNG carrier Tisala went to the rescue of illegal migrants shipwrecked off the coastline of Sardinia on Tuesday. Just after receiving an emergency call at about 2 p.m., the Tisala responded very rapidly and saved all the 30 migrants in distress. The Zionist will continue its aggression against Gaza has not reached its limit yet. Several areas in Gaza Strip were targeted this Tuesday, including even a school sheltering refugees, killing at least 12 Palestinians. More details with Wissam Abu Zaid and Rani al-Bahri.
These Zionist attacks on Gaza Strip have been devastating, affecting all sectors of the society. Civilian areas, including cities and refugee camps, have been heavily targeted, leading to significant loss of life and destruction. In the last 24 hours, no less than 40 Palestinians have been killed, and dozens more have been wounded in several areas of the enclave, and bombardments and artillery fire continued in the city of Gaza and Khan Yunis, raising the number of the displaced people and refugees who are living in inhuman conditions. Even rescue teams, who are often the forefront of providing aid and saving lives, have not been spared, and despite the lack of means and fuel, they have shown unfailing mobilization and commitment for 11 months. And for their major role pulling out the wounded from under the rubble, they have been the target of the Zionist army since October 7th, which resulted in more than 80 martyrs. It is a national and religious duty that obliges us to carry out the tasks assigned to us, despite the lack of rescuers due to the death of 82 members of the civil defense during this fierce war and genocide tragedy in Gaza Strip. The relentless actions of the Zionist forces against Palestinians continue unabated, even during these times when the global community is observing occasions like World Humanitarian Day. In Gaza, dozens of civil defense ambulances are targeted by the Zionist attacks, while others are immobilized due to the fuel shortages, which prevents rescue teams from responding to thousands of emergency calls. The human toll is devastatingly high. More than 500 medical personnel have been killed, including 138 nurses, and dozens more have been arrested. Since the beginning of the Zionist aggression, our ambulance teams have been directly targeted. We have lost dozens of ambulances as well as army rescuers who were fulfilling their humanitarian duty by helping their compatriots in daily treating the wounded. The largest humanitarian organization that provides essential services to Palestinians, the UNRWA employees and facilities have become regular targets of the Zionist entity as well. Even when we are at school, we risk being bombed. The UNRWA facilities are systematically targeted by the occupation army. Over the past 11 months, at least 289 humanitarian workers, including 207 UNRWA staff and 885 health workers, have lost their lives, and hundreds more have been wounded. Amidst this extreme humanitarian crisis, the occupation army aims to leave no hope of surviving for Palestinians, all taking place under the approval of the international community.
That was it for tonight. On behalf of all the team that made this broadcast possible, I do thank you for watching us. Stay tuned on Canal Algérie. Bye for now.